Keep her moving. Welterweight bout here. The featured prelim, Robbie Lawler plus 230. Niko Price minus 230. Over under 2.5 rounds. Plus 155 for the over. Minus 155 for the under. Robbie Lawler. It is coming to an end for Robbie Lawler. It's going to be the retirement fight here. And Niko Price, not exactly the spring chicken he once was. 33 years old for him. 41 for Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler hasn't been as active because of the age, and he's 1-4 in his last 5. But you look at who he's fought. Last time out against Brian Battle, lost in the second round. His only win in the last 5 years is to Nick Diaz, who is also like 80 years old and looks like he did not want to be there. But yeah, losses to Neil Magny, Colby Covington, Ben Askren, and RDA. So not like the elite of the elite. Colby Covington, yes, but you're still facing good guys later in your career. So Robbie Lawler, pretty big underdog here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, he is a pretty decent sized underdog. And, just watching Niko Price's last fight, I was there live, and he just looked a little sloppy to me on the feet, especially. And as the fight went on, he didn't have as much sting in his shots, as much power to really affect Phil Rowe. Like, the volume was there. He's always going to be coming at you swinging. But if he gets sloppy against Robbie, like, Robbie's a really good counterpuncher, and he's really good at, keeping that boxing super tight and throwing these shots straight down the middle, which if Niko Price gets sloppy with him, I could see him getting clipped. It's just, does Robbie Lawler still have that power he did 5 years ago? That's the thing now. It didn't seem like it against Barberena. It didn't really, against Diaz is older, obviously, wasn't in fight shape, regardless of what anybody says, took that shot and basically quit. But Lawler, man, legend, obviously. Go back and watch some of his fights. He's been in some of the better fights the UFC's ever seen. He's got one in the Hall of Fame. The guy is going to come in here for his retirement fight and lay it all on the line. He's not this type of fighter who's like, I just need to get one more paycheck and get out of here. Like, this dude loves to fight. He's fought countless times at the highest level. Like, this guy's going to show us everything he's got for his last time, and that makes him super dangerous. A guy with that much experience. He's been in there with a lot of guys who hit harder than Niko Price and who are better than Niko Price recently. So you look at Niko Price's record, man. Just lost to Phil Rowe, obviously, 3rd round KO. Michelle Pajeda, Donald Cerrone, Vicente Luque. Like, he's not exactly winning a bunch of fights either right now. So it makes it super interesting. I think this fight should be closer as far as the odds go. I'm going to put Ruthless Robbie Lawler for my prediction here. I think he does get it done. I think he's going to be more technical, and he's just going to be better than Price here.
Yeah, I didn't like it, what I saw from Niko Price, really. And the win over Phil Rowe doesn't age the best because he went out there against Neil Magny and didn't look like much. So I'm looking at this one like it's kind of dog or pass. Like, are you really going to lay that chalk on Niko Price against Robbie Lawler? I know Robbie Lawler with the age and you want to fade a retiring fighter, but, like you said, it's his last fight. He might just lay it all on the line, and I probably would expect him to. So, yeah, I just don't really like what I've seen from Niko Price. The volume is probably going to be the way to go. You look at the fight that Robbie Lawler had with Brian Barberena. That's what Barberena did. Like, he just stayed in his face, kept peppering him, and Robbie just couldn't really get anything going because every time he tried to land some kind of combo, Barberena would just be there with a couple more shots. And in the second round was just too much for him because he'd have to cover up and then try to go back in combo, but then he'd cover up, and Barberena would just keep pressing and just kind of broke him as far as the pressure went. Niko Price could do that. He kind of did that to Phil Rowe because Phil Rowe had a similar game plan. He just kind of cover up, and it worked out for him because Niko got tired with about 1:30 left or 2 minutes left in the 3rd round, and he was able to capitalize. But yeah, going into that fight with Phil Rowe, it looked like he could pull it out if it went to a decision. And I'm looking at this one against Robbie Lawler. I think Robbie Lawler, he's got to come out to just for all-out war, which he absolutely could do. And for the sake of the show, I'll take Robbie Lawler too, man. Let's just have him lay it all on the line. We're gonna be there. Hopefully, he puts on a show, featured prelim spot. And it's a name that most people know. Robbie Lawler's been in some great fights, so I'm pulling for him to come in and get a win as a dog in his last fight. So I'll take him.